What is going on, Vikings fans? Skol back again with another Minnesota Vikings video. A little off-season topic for you guys that we got going on right now. It is Cameron Dantzler. You know, the rookie corner we drafted last year. He had a very up and down season, but I've been really diving in, jumping into some film, looking at some big clips, especially from the second half of the season on. I've been showing you guys some clips, going through. I think Cameron Dantzler is really set to have a breakout year for the Minnesota Vikings next year. I could really see him kind of solidifying as being the best corner on the roster. It's not even a shot at Jeff Gladney. I just personally think Dantzler, he's got better film. He's got better reasoning for me to think he's next up. And I think he's next up in the entire NFL. I think he's the next big corner in this league, and I'm going to be explaining to you guys why I think that right now. You guys know me, I'm pretty critical of the Vikings. I'm always kind of player friendly. However, I also don't give praise to people who I don't think deserve it. Cameron Dantzler, I think he could seriously become a Pro Bowl corner even as quickly as next year. You know, obviously he's got that 6'2", weighing in about a $180, $185 frame. He's obviously little, but he's long. He's got these lengthy arms. You know, normally a typical corners, I would probably guess the average is probably around 6 foot 200 in the NFL. You know, he's 2 inches up and he's 20 pounds less than probably the average. But I think Cameron Dantzler, to keep going to the next step, I think the first part he's got to do is add a little strength. He is a very aggressive tackler, and if we're just talking strictly run game, if you could add, let's just say, even 10 pounds of muscle on him, get him some shoulders, get him some bigger arms, get his legs a little longer, so when he breaks down the tackle, he can go and he can make big-time plays, that would be massive for him. And I think if he would just add on 10 to 12 pounds of muscle, it would help him when receivers are trying to get off the line. You know, that sometimes we saw him when he's trying to jam receivers at the line, when he is in press man, which he's never really in. But when he does go in the press man, that's when he could be absolutely great. That's where I think the improvement can come. Obviously, some technique, obviously being in the right position. He really struggled with that early on in the year. But as I'm going to show you in these clips, he kind of got it going in the second half of the year. Now listen, Cameron Dantzler last season in his rookie year was a tale of two halves. And we saw the big improvement coming in from week 11 and after that year. But however, weeks 1 through 8, he was really bad. And some stats for you guys to back this up. Dantzler in coverage, he had a grade according to PFF from weeks 1 through 8 of 52.4. He also allowed a passer rating of 133.8 into his coverage. It could be zone or just the zone or the man that he is on. However, after returning to the field in week 11, he entered a coverage grade of 83.9, so that's a 30-point increase, and passer rating dropped almost 90 points, and that's down at a 41.9 on passes into his coverage. And also, it's not like the Vikings receiver game you could be like, oh, well, they were probably playing good receivers in early on in the year. Now, later half of the year, the list probably got a little shorter. No, not the case. Second half of the year, he was going against DJ Chark, Allen Robinson, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Mike Evans. Some really quality receivers, high IQ guys, good route running guys. And I'm going to drop in the film right now to show you guys where kind of Dantzler, he was a playmaker, but he's also, there's that kind of it factor to him that you guys will definitely see on film right now. All right, so top right of the screen right now, this was Cameron Dantzler's one of his 2 interceptions on the year, and I chose to show you this clip because, listen, this shows his athleticism. This was a huge play from the Bears game, actually. This was when the Vikings were down in the 4th. They needed to hold them to a field goal or just get the ball back. Trubisky makes a bad read, but that was just Dantzler showing off his athleticism. You can see it better from this angle, from the coach's film. But Dantzler, this is what I really mean when, listen, he's got next-time, big-time playmaking ability. Listen, most corners probably in this situation are probably knocking this ball down. And this ball is coming in hot right now. He turned his hips perfectly, saw the ball get up there. He's 6'2". He was a receiver going up, catching the ball back end zone. Kind of shows off his playmaking ability. All right, so here's a good example of why I think if Dantzler could just put on even a little bit of weight, I think him in the run game, he already is very aggressive. Hear him at the bottom of your screen, kind of where my mouse is. If you could just put on a little amount of weight and be able to put on, kind of just lay that boom when a receiver or a tight end tries to block him. Because here he's kind of being a little impatient. He kind of gets in this little hand battle, which is good. He's got these long arms. That's what you want. Embrace that. But if he could just see how he already uses his arms to kind of throw him off, if this could just be a little more explosive, a little more faster, if he gets off this block even quicker, he's meeting him He's meeting Montgomery at the 30-yard line. Instead, he still is able to make the tackle, but, he could have easily let this bounce outside. If he just adds on a little amount of weight, he could easily be the one that finishes this hit right here. Instead of Montgomery being the one that puts him down, I think, listen, this is just me critiquing, but I think if he puts on weight, instead of meeting Montgomery at like the 28, he bounces off this and he breaks out and sets his feet. He could be the one finishing the hit where Montgomery is still held at the sticks. That's a prime example of why Dantzler, if he could put on weight, he could be really special in this league. All right, here are my opinions. Dantzler's best play on the season. Him at the bottom of the screen, matched up in a man-to-man. And the Jags here, they're actually running it's a pretty basic concept, but it does trick a lot of young corners, in my opinion. 5 wide. Dantzler's man obviously as an outside guy. It's simply just like an out or a corner into a slant. So you see right now, Dantzler, he's got about 4 yards of separation from the guy, but he's got just this I know he's got a tight end on him, but he's got this closeout speed and these long arms. Look at to when this ball is released by Glennon. Ball is released right here. It's already pretty much halfway to him, and Dantzler's all the way behind. He's got these long strides, these long arms. Get in front of it, makes a hell of a play. You can really see it from this angle. I'm gonna move my screen or my face over here right now for you guys so you guys can see it fully. See, Dantzler's gonna pop in the screen, and he just kind of gets his way around because he is this long, slender build. And I don't think him adding muscle will get rid of that. He gets fired up too. Listen, I just think this kid is special. We could easily see, that is right there. That's a 50-50 ball with a tight end, and he was able to get his long arms around there, get the interception. I think Dantzler's great. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Cam Dantzler next up in the NFL. Leave a like on the video, comment down below, sub to the channel for more. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.